Alrighty. I'd say we're good to go. I'm still, after a handful of streams, not 100% sure if it's actually live when it says it's live. It should be. Wait. Just for my own sanity. Well, no, this doesn't really matter. I'll trust that it's live and I don't have to actually click go live again, although I will. Okay. So, I think the last thing I did last time was rescue the Chevy Kodiaq C70. There are some available upgrades, but none that I can afford. Explore Michigan. So this should be probably not in the Black River map, but in some other map here in Michigan. Deciding what to do. I kind of lost track of what I said I would do next time, last time. We still have to do this tower. In this crane thing is maybe the most obvious one to do. This requires an off-road truck, even though I think we could do it if we just have some kind of raised suspension and proper tires. It's an option. I'm not super confident to do it in any of the trucks we have so far. This delivery thing... 2 service parts, 2 wood planks, which would have to come from here. I thought I had spare parts somewhere, but maybe... No, there's one here. Not entirely sure. I think this is a classic one which I will probably start overthinking and over planning instead of just getting the stuff there, no matter how efficiently. This might be the first thing I should probably do. Even though I only have 1 wood planks. Already hugely getting sidetracked. That tanker we did. 1 metal beams and 2 bricks. I think I'm gonna try and get this contract done because it seems like, you know, one of the things you should probably do first. So, metal beams and 1 bricks. Even though we need 2. What am I doing? It says metal beams in the top right, so I assume that has to be done first. Sometimes it's not super clear which part of a contract you have to do first. And then the second bricks, I'm not even sure where I would get. But yeah, I think the mission is set. Let's take the Fleet Star. I have a flat bed which I can use. I might buy the crane. I can't. That's great. Could probably sell some parts. I thought I had better tires for this. That's not really possible because I'm not the right rank yet. And I'm not super confident this can be done. I'm so bad at planning everything out. I'll give it a go, just for the sake of getting things moving. I hope the game is not too loud. So we have to go to the factory. Pick up 1 metal beams, get it... Or not to the factory, we have to go to the warehouse. 1 metal beams, get it up to the factory. And we'll take it from there. I've said it before and I'll say it many times more. I very often tend to overplan before I start doing things. I want to be as efficient as possible. But in my planning, which is rarely waterproof to begin with, I just kind of, overthink. In my mind, the Fleet Star was more upgraded than it is, which is not super encouraging. I thought I had at least off-road tires available, but I don't. So we're just winching away. Trying not to destroy these winch points because I will need them later on. I'm not gonna go through the camp because it's probably too steep. I think what I was misremembering is that I had some upgrades for the Chevy, which I bought last time. Like I think the SnowRunner gearbox and bigger and better tires. So for now we are stuck with the highway tires, I think. I don't think these are even all-terrain tires. But it's the first map of the first region in the second truck you get. I'm gonna go around. Never sure if this is doable. This is very much an impromptu stream. I wasn't even planning to stream today, but I have time, and it had been a while since I streamed at all, and specifically since I streamed SnowRunner. Oh, this is where I got stuck at some point. Might have to turn down the game a bit, it's hard to tell. Ooh, it's a bit sketchy. So in here, maybe I could have taken a trailer just to get one of the 2 necessary bricks delivered to the factory at the same time. There is a trailer here, but I'm not confident enough that with these tires and fairly stock Fleet Star that would work out. Nope. What am I doing? So, metal beams. We'll see how much of a hit this takes on overall performance. I'm gonna plot a quick route because I'm not overly confident. It's probably the smart thing to do would be to cut through here to the road and then follow the road this way. That's the smart thing to do. The tempting thing to do is to try and just go through here, which is significantly shorter. Probably risky. Probably too risky, so I will be smart and safe. I'm still not confident enough that I could tow a trailer through that shortcut. So I'm not gonna bother. This early stage is really just grinding until you can get better tires and probably raise suspension. And then you can start taking more risks and worrying more about being efficient and trying to do as much in one trip as possible, which I still don't tend to do, to be fair. Low gear, diff locks. It should be enough. Probably need to go back into low gear for this small climb. Although, no. I had forgotten how good the Fleet Star is if you're just a bit careful and you don't drive like a lunatic. there is kind of a sticky patch coming up through that stream. But at least after that we're in the clear, because it's all just, for the most part, paved roads. From memory, I don't think I've tipped a bigger truck, like an actual truck, not a scout. I don't think I've had any major accidents so far. Would be a bit embarrassing. Because... oh, yeah. There I almost went. I should know better than to drive recklessly. I probably mention it every time, but I have a few hundred hours on PlayStation, which is not that much, considering how much game there is with all the seasons. And I think on PlayStation at least I stopped playing after Yukon. Probably did a few things in Wisconsin, but yeah, not that much. I'm not sure if I end up playing this on PC for long enough. If it stays in the schedule. Not that there is a schedule, but you know, if it stays in the rotation. I am already thinking ahead about how I want to go about playing or not playing all the seasons. Since I've already done a fair amount. I honestly don't remember what trucks I would miss if I skip some of the seasons. But yeah, just to say, I might, after I do, or after I finish Alaska. Wait, I'm getting too confused. Yeah, this is base game until Tamir. So Kola I did, Yukon I did, Wisconsin I did very little of, and everything after that I have never seen before. And there are some regions which I really am curious about. Mostly the ones in Europe. So yeah, decisions will have to be made. I'm glad I chose the smart route. So Honestly, it was a 50-50 chance to go either the smart route or the fast route. Not fast, short. Because I am a sucker for taking the shortest path and then spending 2 hours getting several trucks stuck, as you do. Okay. There's that scout flatbed, which I'm kind of wondering if I should take that. Metal beams. I'm confused. Oh. Yeah. That could have been a potential disaster. Because I forgot that in the last stream I actually delivered the 2 bricks with that scout flatbed, the one that's here. This had the 2 bricks, that was the one you get from here. And I took the Chevy all the way around here and to the factory to deliver them. And then I left the trailer and took the Chevy back out to do that barrel thing around here. It's all coming back. That doesn't really help necessarily. So now, not a drill, metal beams. Yeah, if this all needs to be delivered here, I suppose that's a good time to start thinking about fixing this bridge, which will require 2 wood. Yeah, I mean, that's the only contract here that we can do. Wet harvest, that was a very busy one, I think. 2 bricks, 2 planks, 1 beams. What's on this? That has 1 bricks. Yeah, I'm gonna try and fix that bridge first, because it seems like the obvious thing to do now. The question is where I would get a second pair of wood planks. Not a pair, a second load of planks. There is 1 here. I am confused if the storage zone is just 1 and then you can get infinite planks from the mill itself. I don't know if that's how it works. And I forget where I left the GMC, just here. Generally, I try not to teleport or recover too much. So I'm gonna try... Hello, Maschinen Elf. Guten Tag. Love playing SnowRunner, the slow way solving those complex puzzles. Yeah, that's very much the appeal of this game. Maybe not to everyone, but also to me. I would take this trailer back, just winch it home. But I can't really estimate if I will need the... Or to put it differently, I can't estimate if I will need it to use with my Chevy. I don't know. But what I will do... Now I think I will risk going this way. So we have to go through here, there, there. This I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to cut through this bit. And then it's pretty much straight shot to here because I want to pick up that trailer, take it back to the garage and sell it. As much as I would want to check out this because this has a Kodiak, I don't think I'd be able to get that out anyway, so I'm gonna skip that for now. Yeah, that's the plan. As I was saying, I usually, or I want to try and not recover as much as I normally would, because it's kind of a lazy way to play. And yeah, I want to at least try and do things the right way, so to speak. Incidentally, and maybe not so interestingly, I have some family in Germany. I live in Belgium, just, you know, I don't think that's necessarily obvious because it's probably not mentioned anywhere on the channel that I'm from Belgium. But, yeah, some of my in-laws live in Germany. My wife's grandmother, my wife's grandfather, rest in peace, lived in Wuppertal. His wife still does. Two of my wife's cousins also live in Germany. I forget where exactly. I think a bit more to the south. And my wife's aunt, I should know because we're talking about visiting her sometime soon, but I forget where she lives. And it's kind of killing me that I don't know. So yeah, here I want to be somewhat careful. Because I'm not entirely sure how the path even goes, but yeah. Generally, solid ground is always better than wading through water. not always. Depends on what's beneath the water. If it's mud or rocks. No, this was not so bad. Maybe I could have taken the metal beams to the factory this way. We'll never know, I suppose. Doesn't matter. Yeah, here's the warehouse. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot by removing this trailer, but yeah. I can use whatever extra money I can find. Terrible. Okay, and now I'm gonna have to do a loop because I cannot reverse with four-wheel trailers. Two-wheel trailers are a stretch, but they're slightly easier. But in terms of reversing, apart from just trucks by themselves, I can pretty much only handle semi-trailers. Everything else just fries my brain. Should be able to make it back in terms of fuel. Getting some wheel spin. No. Not through the middle if I can avoid it. It's a bit sticky. I always underestimate this stretch. Oh no. It's grinding to a halt. Yeah. The slow crawl is always better than the fast plunge, if you will. Plunge into a mud pit. And it's more satisfying to watch, in my opinion. Like just the way that a truck often digs its way forward through the mud. I don't know. It does something to me physically and mentally. Neurologically. Mm. I feel like I took a wrong turn. No. Oh no, okay. I've never gone this way from this direction. I was a bit disoriented. And this is not the way I wanted to go. I should have gone on the other side of that post. Try to winch. Okay. It's not pretty. Try not to get caught. It's kind of amazing how much, how much an empty trailer adds in terms of difficulty. Because you think it doesn't weigh anything and that you can get through any terrain as easily as without the trailer, but that is not how it works. Okay. It's tempting to take a shortcut down to the garage. I know there is one. I'm not 100% sure where exactly, but there is a place where you can cut through the trees. It's probably not worth to risk it. This is taking a long time just to get an empty trailer back to the garage to sell. Which is probably why I tend to recover so much, just because it's faster and free. Yeah, might be here that you can go off the road. Whoa. Briefly turned into a four-wheeler instead of a six. Or through here. It's very tempting, but I'm not gonna do it. I think I want to try and go around the left a bit more. Maybe not the best idea. don't know if you could go over that hump, because that would save any time. It's too late to try. Okay, final bit of mud, and then it's pretty much in the clear. Okay. Sweet. I have no idea how much this trailer will sell for, so maybe it won't be worth the effort. Yeah, still 3-4. Come to think of it, I don't know if the 50% sell price also applies to trailers. I assume it does. I think there's a separate setting, like difficulty modifier for truck prices and trailer prices. I don't know. So we have 10.5K. Just browsing. This doesn't make a difference. Rank 6. What's my rank currently? 4. And rank 8 for the off-road tires. Winch, it's all locked. Could get a snorkel. It's not super expensive. I think I will. All-wheel drive we have. And then I'm not sure if I'll need a crane for this specific job. Generally, I suppose it doesn't hurt to have a crane, even though it does add weight. But if we will have to do any crane work and I won't have a crane, that'll be kind of a bummer. I have to go here. And then either through here. I don't remember if that's difficult or not. It's very, very tempting just because it's right there instead of having to go all this way around. I probably will end up trying it even though I shouldn't, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I can get one wood from there. I really don't know where I could get more. Which is a bit worrying, because I don't want to get trapped, so to speak. And this was all... yeah, it's off-road. No. Truck with crane. Oh, right. Should I try this first? Difficult to say. Lost container. What is... yeah, it's all logging. And this requires this fuel trailer to get to there, and then some more stuff. Even more wood planks. Which puzzles me greatly, where you're supposed to get all of those. But yeah, for now, I will pass on the crane. And we'll just make our way to the lumber mill and see what's available there, apart from the... no, apart from that one wood beams. So this one. Kind of want to turn off the HUD, but I rely on it so much. Wait. Just for fun. HUD on, I mean immersive mode on. Zone markers. They do kind of ruin immersion, but I don't know if I'd be able to know where to drop things off without it. Objective markers can stay on. Okay. If I really struggle to keep track of things, I'll just turn the HUD back on for now. I do enjoy the clean screen. It's a bit tough to decide what to do first. I know from experience that the beginning is supposed to be kind of a struggle, both in terms of just getting around, getting stuff delivered, acquiring money for upgrades and new trucks. But at some point, money is far from the biggest issue. Actually, I'm not sure how I managed to do it, but when I started this new save, I must have accidentally checked some setting where... Oh, wait. No, I guess I can go through here. I must have checked some setting to have all trucks available from the start, because they are. But I'm not using any of the ones you're supposed to only get later, because that kind of feels like cheating to me. Oh, wolf in the distance. It always looks a bit goofy, like it's not an actual wolf, but a cardboard cutout of a wolf. Okay. I don't think there's anything here. Like tasks that I might have missed. So let's just see how much wood planks I can get here. How many wood planks? See, you can get more. Then what is all this storage space about? It's a bit confusing. Now I can't select the lumber mill. Do I want to try the shortcut or not? It's the wrong question. Do I want to? Yes. Should I? Probably not, but I think I will anyway. I don't think this crossing is that difficult. We'll find out soon enough if I have to go grab a plate to eat those words. Ooh, this is pretty steep. Just don't go ham on the throttle. It's a good thing I bought the snorkel. I don't know if it would have been strictly necessary here. Probably not. But it does make me feel a bit safer. And there's an upgrade here, which I did not know was here. Ooh, nice. We're very pleased with that. As much as it pains me, I'm gonna turn the HUD back on because it's, you know, not having everything visible at all times is kind of messing me up and distracting me from driving. Okay. Don't take this corner too sharp because it looks kind of a steep drop. Okay, sweet. That's that bridge. A bit of money. It's mostly for convenience. Convenience, rather. Okay. Have to make a habit to turn off my truck while I'm planning, because it does use a bit of fuel. So, how long have I been going? A bit under an hour. So, you know, we can go back to the garage, install the crane, and try to do this. I know it's very deceptive. I specifically remember tipping on one, maybe both of these parts during my first playthrough. This one I'm tempted to try, but I probably shouldn't just yet. See, this is where I wish I had a crane. Because then I could take the service parts off of this trailer, deliver them, go back to the lumber mill for the wood, deliver that. So, yeah. It's not a big problem. Missing oil tank, that's that one, which I don't want to do just yet. These pumps, I forget how difficult they are. One there. One in here where the Kodiak is. One up here. I probably shouldn't try that just yet. Two metal beams. It's fairly close. I am a bit worried about this climb with metal beams because it won't be as easy as it was just now with the wood. So maybe it's not the best way to do it. There's only one. Oh no, there are two metal beams here. Maybe that would be easier. Not entirely sure how to proceed. This one pays 3,200. This one's only 1,600, which means it's likely to be much easier. I wish I knew what I had equipped on the GMC, because it's not a flatbed. I think it's a low saddle. Oh no, it is a flatbed. But the GMC will struggle much more to deliver stuff here than the Fleet Star, so I don't think it's the right choice. I have to choose one thing to do, so let's let's just backtrack to the lumber mill in the Fleet Star. We'll pick up the wood planks, deliver those, and then alternatively, wait, I have the Kodiak in the garage. If I have enough money, I could put a flatbed and a crane on the Kodiak. The only thing that will save is just a bit of time. Instead of driving the Fleet Star back to the garage and installing a crane on that truck. But I do like the Kodiak. I don't know if it would struggle more with the delivery than the Fleet Star would. I keep forgetting how you find the player profile. It's not through here. I know you can do it in the garage. Surely there has to be a way to get to it here. No. Oh, okay, just down on the D-pad. We have 10,350. The crane is 5.7. A flatbed, I honestly don't know, but shouldn't be more than a few thousand. So I think purely financially I could use the Kodiak. We'll see. Let's focus on the thing at hand. And just get these wood planks delivered first. I should put better lights. If I can, I should put better lights on all of my trucks. And actually, come to think of it, a very easy way to get more money very quickly is to just sell the GMC. I don't know if I want to do that. I probably should do that because I have the Fleet Star and the Kodiak, which, you know, should be able to handle most things. Yeah, it's a choice I have to make. Do I sell it or not? The main reason why I'm hesitant to sell it is that I know that it will be very unlikely that I will give the GMC a second chance until I'm able to get the all-wheel drive for it. Wait, is it through here? I assume this is the better way to go than through here, because this is pretty muddy. I didn't think to refuel, but I don't think it's necessary. I do know I have to be very careful here, because these are pretty narrow trails with a high risk of tippage. All it takes is one moment of wavering attention. Looked like it just ended in a field. Okay. Whoa. Slowly on the way down. No. Let's get that stuff back here. Okay, that's 1/2. Now, let's turn this off. Head over to the garage. Nope, it's not the garage. What am I doing? does have a snorkel, for what it's worth. It's much more expensive than the one on the Fleet Star, but it's much taller, so I guess that makes sense. Flatbed is 4.2. And the crane is 5.7, so that's 9.9. Which I have. The question is, do I want to spend that much in one go? This doesn't have any engine upgrades. I mean, it has one, but I can't really afford it. Because that's most of the money we have. And if I get this, I can't get a flatbed or a crane. So I think I'm going to do this the easier way, just recover, being kind of a hypocrite because I said I would try to not recover if I can avoid it. Let's get this crane installed. This will make it quite a bit more top heavy, so I have to be extra careful not to tip over. We did also find the raised suspension, but I'd say that's not a smart thing to get now. I know I will get the raised suspension at some point, just for convenience or whatever, but you know, on this truck in particular, the raised suspension is arguably more of a detriment than an advantage. So, yeah. Wait. How much are lights? Can you not get better lights? Just the beacon, but it's weird. Oh, or is it, yeah, one of these, which I cannot get yet. So, never mind. So now we're back at the garage. We have to get service parts from why isn't it showing up? Because this has service parts. It's really confusing how sometimes cargo pickup icons are on the map and sometimes they aren't. Maybe it depends on what you're closest to. But before I do that, just for a bit of a change. Whoa. Yeah. I am gonna recover the Chevy. Gonna see if there are some beacon and fog lights. It's only 300, it's not that much. Expanded trunk. The roof rack is locked still. It's only rank 5, which I think we're close to. So yeah. does that? If I would get this, I assume I wouldn't be able to get these fog lights. Wow, that came out weird. Live a little. Okay, because what I want to do is head over to this tower and finally unlock that. And I think from what I remember, this way to the tower is marginally easier than the other two. I reckon with the current tires and the raised suspension, I should be able to do this. It's getting a bit dark in my room. Feels good when any vehicle just drives through mud like it's not there, or any obstacle. Maybe going too fast. We'll find out when I crash. Or when I hit an invisible stick on the road. Okay. Came to a dead stop as soon as I went in the mud. I'm being way too aggressive. Forgot to put a marker on the tower itself. Yeah, just straight ahead. Ooh, that was not the way to go. Okay. New objective. New objective. And that's it. So one thing here, I'm not sure what kind of truck that is. I think it's another GMC. This one's new. This is another Chevy, which I will most likely sell. If I can. I don't know if I'll be able to keep those. this Chevy and that GMC. And there was a third objective which I'm not finding. Shouldn't they be on the map? They're not even in the list. Because I haven't found them yet. I forgot the name of the third one. There was drowned highway truck, drowned scout truck, and I think some fuel or food thing. I really wasn't paying attention. Anyway. Yeah, might as well recover. And now switch back to the Fleet Star to get those service parts to the boatman's house. I am a bit worried about the weight of the crane, especially on that final bit of, mud trail from the town to the boathouse, which was narrow and somewhat muddy. It wasn't much of a problem earlier when you went to deliver the wood beams. Wood planks, rather. But now with the crane, I will have to be extra careful. It'll be fine. Don't be such a nervous Nelly. So to pick up the parts, I just want to make sure so I don't end up somewhere completely random. So that's through here, there, there. Maybe unnecessary markers, but that's what they're for. It's possible that the weight of the crane actually helps. Because very often, mostly in mud, like, except the really deep mud, but in low to medium amounts of mud, some weight can help because it makes you sink through the mud to the bottom, where you tend to have more traction. That probably doesn't apply to all situations. Often it helps. Okay, gently, not so gently, nudge these things out of the way. another trailer here, which I should, at my earliest convenience, also sell. Yeah, I don't know if it makes more sense to take it back to the garage or to take it to Smithville Dam, which is a bit closer. But I haven't been there yet, so either way is fine. Try to not knock over any trash cans. Okay. One thing I'm only thinking of now is that this cargo is probably fastened down, therefore cannot be craned out, which is a huge and kind of hilarious oversight on my part. I think I messed up. Because now well, at least everything came unfastened. Oh boy. Not even sure which ones are service parts. Brick service parts. I know there was something else on there. There were 3 kinds of cargo. Don't forget the anchor. I'm just guessing what this is. Might not be service parts. Not 100% sure how I can check. Pack. Okay, that doesn't say what it is. How do you check your cargo? It's such a very elementary thing. Okay. It's very obvious in the top left. So that is one service parts, so we have to grab second one. I assume that is one. Terribly sorry about your trailer, whomever's trailer this is. Unpack, pack. Whoops. Restore crane. Okay. I kinda messed up. I assume this stuff will still come in handy later. And the trailer I'm very likely to sell anyway, so And if I have a crane and a low saddle, I'm sure I can actually... No, I'm not gonna mess with it now. I was gonna say I can probably get it back upright. But that's none of my business right now. Zero accountability. I didn't actually check. Yeah, I do have 2 service spare parts. So for the princely sum of, I think, 1400 credits, we'll get this delivered. I don't want to think ahead too much about what to do next. I do know I want to do this in low gear, slow as it may be. Okay, it's very slow. But do I trust myself enough in regular gear? It's not really scary, but it feels a bit scary. I've had too many experiences with the Fleet Star and with other trucks, to be fair, where, you know, everything was going swimmingly and then, you know, 1 second I'm cruising along and the next second I'm upside down in a ditch. And not the fun kind of ditch either. Not the cozy one, or the cozy kind with room service and warm towels and a mini fridge. I'm just describing a hotel room for no reason. Okay, as before, slowly on the descent. And take this turn as wide as I can. Well, without going over the right edge. Try not to ruin this gentleman's nice fence. Okay, cool. That's rank 5, so we have an extra upgrade, but I've already forgotten which one it was. I think one of the roof racks for the Chevy. And we're 1600 SnowRunner bucks richer. Okay. What's the next least risky thing to do? Maybe this. This one I really want to try, but I'm not confident enough that it will work out. This one even less so. These pumps probably not. There's not much else to do. Metal beams from here to here. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is the next thing I should be doing. 2 wood planks, 1 metal beams, 2 bricks. It's hard to say. No. It's just 1 bricks. And 1 there. So actually... Wait. Fleet Star is here with crane and flatbed. I could take this trailer, get it back here, load up the other bricks. Go to the lumber mill, load up the wood. That might be too heavy of a load to take in one go. But I feel like I should at least take these bricks out of here. Yeah, I mean, can just follow this path around to the road this way. We have a heading. Although not the smartest way to go. Yeah, definitely not the smartest way to go. I'm not stuck yet. Oh yeah, that was too fancy of a maneuver. Kind of clipped the porch, but there was no damage. I'm sorry, I know it doesn't matter if you damage the surroundings. Okay. Well. This did not look as much of a, or as big of a drop as it is. So through here. Cool. not so hasty. Could I make it through here? Depends if there are many decent winch points, which is hard to tell from here, so better not risk it. When in doubt, don't risk. Okay. Right? Yeah. Got turned around for a sec. I don't think it's too dark yet. I have to think for a sec how I want to arrange the cargo. Maybe I should winch the bricks from the trailer onto the flatbed. I don't know if it matters if I will have the bricks on the flatbed and the wood in the trailer, or vice versa. Not entirely sure if I can just crane them over like this, because they're technically still packed. No, that doesn't work. Okay. So a bit of an awkward maneuver. You do have to be careful when attaching trailers at awkward angles, because sometimes the physics just completely spaz out. But yeah. Well, we have the trailer attached, so I don't think there's much point in craning it over. So now back to that semi-trailer, which I skillfully flipped. Load up the other bricks, then to the mill. Load up on planks. I'm kind of impressed that I'm doing all this in the Fleet Star with highway tires. That's not really my merit. left, and then left again. Should probably have left the trailer in the streets instead of taking it all the way here. So, no, not that this is any better. Then I should probably reverse in. This is so embarrassing. Where did that trail go? Nowhere really. Okay. Should be able to do it from here. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. I'm trying to be too precise unnecessarily. That's fine. Restore pack. Now to get that trailer hitched. Again at kind of an awkward angle. Okay. Now back to the mill. I'm pretty much passing by there anyway, so I think I'm gonna try and deliver all 4 things in one go. But before I do... wait. No. I think it makes sense to have the bricks in the trailer so I can more easily... Hold on, no, because I don't have to manually load the wood, so it doesn't matter. I was gonna say it makes more sense to load the bricks in the trailer so I can load the wood onto the flatbed, which is just generally easier. But I don't have to do any craning to load the wood. You know, this will be pretty heavy. I think it's still very doable if I don't keep wrecking my engine bit by bit. Counter argument to the cargo management thing I just said is that now I have to drive in there with the trailer. should be fine. Otherwise I could have left the trailer here, pick up the wood, drive back out, and you know, would be marginally easier. So, one wood here, one on the trailer. It's managing. I'm being gentle on the power. I might want to refuel, but I don't really have to yet. It's hard to say if I'll be able to make it. We'll just see how far we get, and if necessary I can always take the Chevy and do a fuel or refuel trip. Whenever I look confused at the screen, it's just to check how long I've been going for, which is almost 2 hours. So this might be the last thing I do. I forget if there's more to be delivered to the farm for this job. I thought there were 3 things. And if I finish the contract, I will just browse upgrades to see if there's anything new, which I doubt. Should be good for fuel. And then I can take that trailer to the garage and sell it. We still have that other one by the fuel station, which is kind of in the way. Not really sure why I left it there to begin with. I'm sure it had stuff in it at some point. Whoa. Struggling just a bit. Okay, pretty much there. Now let's try and not get stuck in the mud just before the drop-off point. Yeah, I will have to reverse out, which is never fun in this kind of trailer. Okay, well, we did already deliver 1 metal beams, so this should be finished. Nice. 3,800. Whoops. The essentials. It's in Smithville Dam. Maybe it's time to go to Smithville Dam soon-ish. I could try to do this, because it's just... No, wait. That's its own task. Although... Where was it? This one. It's just from here to here. Doesn't pay that much, but it's a very small job, so... Okay. This one I'm not too sure of. So let's just get back to the garage before we completely run out of fuel. Sell the trailer. That should be another, I think, 3,400-ish. Then I want to check if there's any upgrades worth getting. Okay. Not even sure how much money we have at this point. Maybe a bit over 10,000. Right. Handbrake didn't want to engage properly. So yeah, 3,400 for the trailer. Let's recover 11,450. can get the raised suspension. I don't think I want to, because I don't think that there's a need, really. We've managed to do everything so far with the stock suspension, so I'd say there's not much point in compromising the tippiness. I thought I had this snorkel. I mean, I thought I had it equipped. And there aren't really any add-ons we need, so let's look at the Kodiak. We can get the better engine. Maybe that's worth it. Gearbox, nothing. Suspension, nothing. Tires, nothing. Snorkel, maybe. All-wheel drive not available yet. I could put the low saddle and the crane on this to try and recover that semi-trailer. Get the snorkel. It's very likely I will end up selling the GMC anyway. As much as I want to give it a chance, it's just... it's, I'd say, objectively the worst truck I have at this point. Let's get some lights. Okay, what do I still want to do, if anything? So we could do this. This is just a crane job in 2 trips, probably, unless I take a trailer, which I don't want to do. It's a bit risky. This one should be easier. It's always so difficult to just choose a thing to do and then do it. What's our rank currently? 5. Could also try to do the time challenges. I don't know. Food. Oh, that's the thing I missed. Or the thing I couldn't find after I unlocked the tower. So this one's there. I don't know what you need to do. Oh, deliver 2 consumables. I shouldn't worry about the time factor because it doesn't matter. Even if you don't get bronze, it's still completed if you actually complete it. So yeah. Not gonna start this today. I think I will try to do the, what's it called? Missing... no, not this. Where is it? this one. So we will need... I'm tempted to try the Kodiak just because I haven't tried the Kodiak yet. I don't know if there's a better or worse choice between these two. I mean, I think I know, because this is powered to weight A. This is, oh, A minus. Screw it. I will take the flatbed off, take the crane off, put them on here. Flatbed, crane. Oh. Right. For whatever reason, you can't have a crane and a flatbed despite the stupidly long chassis. So yeah, we can take this off. I made an assumption which was incorrect. Wait, since I'm here, I always forget. All right, because they're locked still, I think. Yeah. I'd like to get this, but it's at the absurd rank of 13, which is very excessive for a mostly cosmetic upgrade. So yeah. Back to the warehouse. Try to load up those parts without flipping over. Oh, I didn't realize the actual time of day. It's almost, no. Yeah, 5:45, almost. This requires some winching. But I wish to winch there. Seems the crane is kind of messing me up. Just want to see. It doesn't say off-road truck recommended, I think. No, just truck with crane. Maybe an off-road truck would be better for this. Come on. I'm still optimistic I can get this done with the current setup. I'm getting increasingly worried about having highway tires. I don't know off the top of my head at what rank you unlock the off-road tires or even the all-terrain tires. I know I checked a few times in the course of the stream, but I can just never remember. I do have a bad working memory. Might be part of my autism diagnosis. I think it was. I think they specifically said that my working memory, or it said in the report that my working memory is worse than average. In other words, I have insufficient RAM. I haven't tried putting more sticks of RAM up my nose, but, you know, I don't think that's how it works. Still don't want to go through that massive puddle. This path is getting kind of messed up by myself. The more I pass through here, the worse the mud gets. What am I stuck on? Can I reach? No, I can't reach that lamp post. I can reach that tree. My front is stuck on something, but I can't see. Nope. How did I get this stuck so suddenly? It's like, I think there's a tree wedged under my grill. I'm gonna have to go backwards. Yeah, that tiny, tiny tree. Maybe that wasn't it, but looked like that was the blockage. That crane does add so much more weight. Nope. No. See, like, nothing changed except I added the crane. And suddenly I'm just sinking in mud left and right. It's not very encouraging for the task at hand. Cut across here. I hope it's not in any way muddy where the parts are. Okay. Right. I thought it was a steeper incline. But I still have to be careful. So, crane mode, anchor. I forget how you change the camera. I know there is a way to, you know, to get a wider viewing angle. It should show somewhere. I don't know if it says in here. No. I don't know. Back, restore crane. Very gently, whoops, very gently reverse out. It seems I made a bigger deal. I made a bigger deal of this task than it was. Maybe the easiest thing I've had to do so far. Okay, nice. Okay, that's probably gonna do it for today. I just want to have a look, like, get my head straight as to what I could do next time. As mentioned a few times, this thing with the crane, could try the contests. No, it's that. This one. This one. Maybe this is easier than I remember, but I remember it being more difficult than I thought then. So I don't really want to take too many risks. This pump thing. It seems like you might be able to do that with a Scout, even though it says off-road truck recommended. I don't really see why you would need an off-road truck when there's no cargo involved. Yep, so that one, not a drill, that's the metal beams, which we have to get over a short distance or a rather long distance. It's not that long. And after the beams, oil rig drill, I think that's this massive one, which we'll have to take along the road somewhere. I'm getting disoriented. Yeah, along the road here. And then I forget how I did this last time. Probably not through here because that's quite a sharp turn. I think I may have gone this way. Shortest way would be through here, but yeah, I really don't know if that's doable. Maybe I should consider going to Smithville Dam and maybe even to Drummond Island. And that other map, I thought there were 4. Yeah, Island Lake. It's from memory. Island Lake is where the P16 is. Which I suppose would be the most obvious truck to use for that huge trailer. So yeah, next time we might start exploring the different maps of Michigan. I tend to focus on doing one map at a time as much as I can, but sometimes it can be quite a bit easier if you just cross over between maps, because sometimes that saves a lot of time and effort. It's all logging, Steel River supplies. That's this trailer. Consumables from the farm. This might be a fairly easy one. Apart from getting this trailer out, which might be a bit tricky. That might be the next thing I do, if I remember by then. Because you just get the trailer out through here. And then it's just road to there. Wood planks from the mill. And consumables from the farm. It's also basically as easy as it gets. Yeah. I feel best about this thing. I'm gonna track it now, so hopefully I remember next time that that's what I said I would do. Yeah. I know in the bigger scheme of things, it doesn't matter what you do first, really. It just, you know, some things take longer if you do them earlier. Because you're less well equipped. But we'll have to do all of this at some point anyway, so it doesn't really, you know, it's not really worth overthinking but I overthink anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna recover. Wait, is there a reason not to recover? No, I don't think there is. So, recover properly dark now in my room. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. There's a small chance I'll be able to stream a bit more later. But I always say that and then, you know, other stuff gets in the way. But right now I feel like playing some more. Because I have kind of a plan of what to do. But we'll see. It's pretty much 50-50 if I will stream some more later or if I will work on some videos, which I should not postpone. I'm rambling. Thank you for watching and for hanging out, for lurking. Yeah, more SnowRunner to come relatively soon. At the latest, probably next weekend. Maybe during the week, in the evening, if I can find some time. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.